Hey guys, good afternoon. So it's my Friday, hey, looks like a wreck. My Friday 8-3 midday. And first of all, I don't know if you can see, I'm sitting on the berm on the side of Old Lincoln Highway here. I'm probably about 2 miles outside of Bourbon, Indiana. And just want to give you an update on that. Stopped for a water, here comes a car. In case you guys didn't know what that background noise was, I figured I'd point out to you it's a car because I'm just an idiot. Anyway, I don't know if you can see through the trees here behind me, but it's an amazing, amazing day. There's not a cloud in the sky, and there's a breeze, and I can't tell you how nice it is to just walk and not be dripping in sweat. I mean, I'm sweaty, but sometimes I'm just soaked. So I stopped here for a quick water break, and actually, this may be too much information for folks, but I actually stopped for a pee break too, along the side of the road here, which I know is not appropriate. But I tell you that for a reason, and I tell you that not to be disgusting or share too much information, but when, this is the truth, I kind of measure how well I'm hydrating myself by that simple fact. Early in my journey, I kid you not, like my first couple of days, I didn't go to the bathroom till like 11 o'clock at night, so clearly I wasn't hydrating properly. So the fact that it, almost 12, I don't know, is it 12 o'clock, 12:30, I don't know what time it is, that I've had to do that means I guess I'm stopping for enough water breaks to keep my body hydrated. So being healthy is important. But I wanted to share a few things with you today. It's kind of crazy. Someone texted me this morning and said, man, I can't really believe that this is happening the way it is. And, I keep going back to Ohio and Indiana, but, this time next week I'm going to be in Chicago, Illinois, which, to me, when you look at a map and you go, you're here and there, to think that I walked it is just, really is pretty crazy. So in some regards, I guess I'm even proud of myself a little bit in that regard. To those that have asked, and I haven't thanked enough folks yet. So Jerry Smith, not a relation, but back in York, PA, has been kind enough to design those business cards for me, and can send anybody a link that may want them. They can purchase them. Again, if you really want to help the journey, forget about helping me right now. Help me spread the point the thumb mantra. I had a really good experience just a short while ago, and I'm really looking forward to making that what this is about now. Is I just think it's one of those things that has no downside to it. And the more we talk about it amongst ourselves, amongst our families, amongst our friends, amongst our schools, we can really change things. I really believe that. So Jerry has created those cards, and the best thing you can do for me, or for the journey and the concept, is to get some of those cards from Jerry, and pass them out to folks. Take them to your churches, your playgrounds, your group meetings, your friends, your barbecues, and just say, hey, kind of follow this guy and listen to some of what he's talked about, and maybe. Something that the pastor said to me a few days ago is truth in that in the iceberg theory, you only see 10%, and the bottom 90% you never ever see. And he said you're not even going to see that. You're planting seeds. What you're doing, Jim, and following your journey is you may not ever see any of the results of it, but rest assured what I'm doing matters, and that 10 years from now, 15 years from now, somewhere along the lines, these seeds that are planted are gonna take root, and I guess that's all I can hope for and ask. But anyway, today has been really super special in a lot of ways. I left a great family last night that's overcome just some physical things, and their spirit is inspiring. But I left Doug and Roseanne and Kristen and little Riley. That's the puppy dog. He was cute. And I set out on my journey, and Kristen said, you got to stop at this crate and egg place, and like I said, it was like a Cracker Barrel, but with warmth and feeling and family. And ironically, while I was there, I sat. The young man sat next to me. I kind of sat at the bar, what would be the countertop, and I said, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" He said, "Maybe," which was a fair answer. And I told him what I was doing, and man, we just started a whole conversation about things, and he led me to an idea that I want to share with you guys. I'm real excited about, because maybe it's a possibility. So anyway, we talked for a little bit, and he's no longer in the business, but was sharing with me. I said, how many eggs a day, a week, a year? I mean, are there any numbers? And he said, I couldn't even tell you. So we got 3 million chickens out here among our farms. So you did the math, and was sharing some of the technology with me that was just, blew me away. That this one here got me. That I guess they have a machine that actually cracks the egg and separates the yolk and the whites, because we have folks from dietary purposes and stuff like that make just egg white stuff, and certain recipes only recall for the whites. And they sell it to the local restaurants and people around town here. So I met Keith Barker, and I don't know, again, sometimes you meet people and you just feel like you know them forever. Great guy, just super nice and fair and honest, and talked to me about his business, which he was just back in New York where I came from, purchasing a garbage truck, believe it or not. So in his business, one of the things he does is he hauls up about 30 miles north of here is what's called the RV capital of the world. And I had an opportunity to stay there for business sometime for a couple months in Elkhart, Goshen, Indiana area. And these people that buy these RVs from around the country, someone has to get them to them. And I'm in this berm, so if you see wispy grass in front of me here, it's just I'm sitting in, knee-high grass, so I apologize about that, but it's kind of a cool look. Anyway, so that's one of the things that Keith does. And then the other thing he does is he goes to auctions and buys these homes that have tax liens on them. And instead of getting trash compactors and all that stuff, he bought an actual garbage truck to compact everything and take it to the waste facility. So again, very practical, but great guy. And I got a really special thing. The server came to me with a little menu and opened it up, and there's a little note inside I shared with you guys earlier from someone today. Look, I'm a teacher, and there really are good people out there, and I see it in my learners every day. So, keep plugging away. Don't let the 10%, beat the 90% out of you. And I really meant a lot. And they also took care of paying for my breakfast, which was fantastic. And then further along the journey, I met Tasha. She was just driving by and saw me on Facebook, and I had 2 young ones in the car, and so just wanted to, say I really think what you're doing is great. The message you're sending, and give me water and a couple of power bars, and that was really appreciated. This is reaching those people. And then not far along came Andy, and Andy saw me, and he offered me a lift up to the mini mart. We sat and talked, and he prayed for me, and heard what I'm talking about with the point of thumb, and really embraced it. And who knows what seed I planted and how far that goes with Andy. He's got 3 older children, but who knows, they're his grandkids, or someday we'll have grandkids. And Andy was fantastic. When I got further along, and I stopped in a town called Etna Green, I believe it is. And in Etna Green, I stopped in Navasota, and there was a family of 5 sitting there talking, and I was kind of writing my chapter for my book in my phone while I sat there and charged up and had a soda, and wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but it's so hard to. But they were really pretty fun people. 3 cars coming by, so apologize. 1, 2, and then 3. This is crazy, I kid you not. I probably saw 15 cars in the 4 or 5 hours I've walked today, and now here comes like 6 cars roaring by. I don't know how that happens. It's like they know the camera's on. Anyway, so in there I met Ty and Emily, and again, great young couple. And I don't know if they're there with his grandmom or his mom. I'm not sure who the other folks were, but they're just very nice people. I took a picture, and I think I shared that one already. So it's been. And then Dustin caught me. He said, "Are you guys walking?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I wish I had something to give you." And I don't. I said, "That's all right. Can we take a picture?" And they just wished me, well on my journey, and that's been great. So, but anyway, here's the real thing I wanted to share with you guys for today. So that's kind of a recap of the morning. The good news is when I get to Bourbon, actually one of our followers, I hate saying followers, one of our family had reached out to the Plymouth is the next big town I'll be heading to after tonight, and I guess a local reporter had reached out to me, and I'm going to be meeting Jamie here in Bourbon and talking to her, and hopefully carrying this message about pointing the thumb. There's no downside to it, guys. There really isn't. And if you start, trust me, if you apply it once, it becomes easier and easier, and I've done it. So there's that part of it. I've shared a few songs with you that have clicked in my head today. Hopefully someone can post them. But here's the real cool thing. So if you've noticed, I kind of put out an APB and said, guys, help me understand how I can get through, get that fly off of there. Why is there a well, you guys don't see that. I don't think you do. Maybe you do. Anyway, how can I get through the West where there's gaps of 50, 60 miles, between gas stations and places along the way? And how do I do that? Because my journey isn't about walking. My journey is about people and the relationships I'm making, and maybe the friendships for life, and the simple handshakes, and the humanity that's been outweighing good to bad, 99.5% to 0.5%. It's just been that crazy. But something that Keith had said, and then something that I kind of thought about clicked on me. So, I'm going to be taking, at least right now, this Route 66 journey, and I'm going to be going through a lot of desolate areas. And I was talking to Keith about how cool that business of hauling trailers around the country is. He makes his own skits. Just anyway. But it dawned on me that there are going to be people that have RVs and trailers and are going camping out to the Grand Canyon or heading out west, I assume, And I thought, how cool would it be if maybe I got a few of them to pre-arrange to kind of meet with me and not drive it, but just, hey, you know what, let's park on the side of the road and, you know, build a fire if we can, and just sit around with a few chairs and get to know each other, right? And let me kind of share some of those folks' stories. So that might be an option for getting through the wild, wild west. That's kind of what am I saying? Vacant or not densely populated. So I don't know. I just thought that that's a possibility. So if you guys know folks that are going to be heading out that way, I'm going to be in Chicago next week. Hopefully catching a ride to St. Louis. So I mean, I'm going to be heading out August into September, and depending upon how this goes, this trip might be, you know, short. I'm making much better time than I had ever anticipated I would. And like days like today, Jamie, who's the writer of the article, had said that, you know, okay, I'm going to be in Bourbon. You know, I came in early because sometimes these writers have deadlines, and if I want to take advantage of their time, I need to kind of work around them. So I got an early start today. But you know, she said you're going to be continuing through, and I guess it depends on what relationships and friendships I make today. So obviously, I don't have a place to stay yet. I'd like to find one. But you know what? Maybe in order, you know, my kids are my motivation, and if I can get an extra 5 or 6 miles today and can continue to do that, you know, who knows what can happen. So anyway, you know, if you guys think you know anybody that's going to be going out that way, or that'd be willing to, or something like that, just, you know, pull up a camper and hang out and BS with me and be part of the journey. I don't know, it might be a great story. So just a thought, and I'm bouncing off for you guys, the family, and that's what we got. So I love you all. Kira, Grace, great talking to you today. I love you. Behave yourselves, guys. And I think I sent out 3 songs, and I had a couple more in my mind. But anyway, love yous. Have a great day. On my way to Bourbon, Indiana. Thank you to all the folks that have been supportive today, that have met with me, that have just supported me as they've driven by, that have prayed for me. I just really can't explain what's happening. It's just compelling. It really is. And I started writing these books and chapters, and you know, it just each day seems to be an hour and 20 minutes. I'm writing away in the book, so it's going to be fantastic. So thank you guys. Thank you. I love you all. Take care.